Hey, how's it going, plant-based runner? Coach Kyle here. And as part of the request to join the Plant-Based Runners Unite group, I asked for a struggle. And the one that I want to address today is this person said, I struggle with finding and sticking to a healthy diet. Since I don't eat meat, I tend to eat more carbs, looking for good sources of protein. So just a couple quick suggestions would be, let's go with looking for good sources of protein. So um, protein sources that I kind of find myself gravitating towards would be the Silk brand cashew and almond milk with added pea protein. One cup, a single cup has 10 grams of protein in it, which is fantastic. Sometimes, like last night, I think I just had a cup of this before going to bed, because I had an evening 7.5 miler, and I had a little bit of a small meal afterwards, and I had a cup of that to get 10 grams of protein in before bed. That's also my go-to quick meal after a hard or long session is I'll drink 2 cups of that. The chocolate tastes fantastic, by the way. Other protein sources, my favorite kind of meat alternative, I guess you could say, would be seitan. Super easy to make. It takes about 10 minutes to kind of get it prepared, hour and a half to bake, and you got a nice loaf of a good solid vital wheat gluten, nutritional yeast, and a few other things thrown in there. Vital wheat gluten is basically protein, and I think the loaf that I use, the recipe, I cut it into 8 slices, and each slice is 20 grams of protein, and it makes a really good, you food process it, and it makes a really good meat alternative for chili or tacos, or you can slice it up and make a vegan Reuben, or what's that sandwich with the roast and some type of white cheese, and you dip it in the au jus. I can't remember, but that you can use it for something like that as well. And sometimes, honestly, I'll just cut a slice off and eat it if I just want a little something snacky to get me by. And if you ever see the vegan beef jerky at Whole Foods or your local co-op or whatever, chances are it's probably made of seitan. It's kind of a chewy, tough beef jerky almost texture. And depending on the spices and everything you use, it tastes pretty good too. So seitan is a good option. What else did this person say? I tend to eat more carbs. I struggle finding and sticking to a healthy diet. So without knowing any actual details on what you're actually eating, first, don't be afraid of carbs. Just, you can choose better carbs. We very rarely buy bread to keep in the house, just in general. We have some loaves of some buns, but they're specifically for a meal that I bought the ingredients for, and I think we're going to have them for dinner tonight. So it's not like we're buying bread to just hang out in the house and to have whenever we feel like it. We buy grains for specific recipes. Now most mornings I eat oatmeal, and it's okay to eat grains. Some people kind of demonize them, but if you choose the not white bread, kind of crappy processed garbage, but you go with Dave's Killer bread, a little more healthy options, or you make your own bread, super easy by the way, that's a better choice. So that's a better carb. Or of course, fruit's basically a carb, but have at it. Eat as much fruit as you want. For most people, most of the time, they just can't eat enough fruit to negatively impact their health. But the amount of micronutrients that somebody gets from a bowl of frozen berries is a fruit salad is a fantastic meal, and it's easy, and there's very little cleanup. So that's a good carb source, good carb based meal for you. And then I struggle with finding and sticking to a healthy diet. In cases like this, it's really important to know that healthy is not healthy or not healthy. You know, some some vegan ice cream, you know, for a dessert one time, you know, once a week, not unhealthy, not healthy, but you know, mentally it's nice to know that, okay, on this day I'm gonna have some dessert and it's gonna be awesome, or I'm gonna make a bunch of tater tots, you know. But if you have that every night, probably not the healthiest option. But if you have it once or twice a week, something like that, it's good mentally. Knowing that, okay, twice a week I'm going to eat ad libitum, not junk food, but I'm just going to eat basically whatever I want. But the other 5 days out of the week, I'm going to have a little more restraint. That is healthy. Going 100%, trying not to have any sort of unhealthy options in your diet, for me, led to dietary frustration. Because again, it's nice to have those cheat meals. Those cheat meals once or twice a week help the rest of the week be a little better than it normally would have been otherwise. And mentally, I think it's really good for you as well. So there are some just quick comments, suggestions on struggling with finding and sticking to a diet, eating more carbs, and good protein sources. If you have any suggestions for this runner, if you've struggled with any of these struggles in the past, drop your solutions below in the comments. And as always, you keep running, I'll keep coaching.